no matter how much cash they had, they couldn't grow at that clip. Hi, my name's Devon. Today I own several multi-million-dollar companies. We started with $5,000 in a credit card. I don't know the easy way. I only know the hard way. Hey everyone, welcome to the Whiteboard Entrepreneur Podcast, where I give straightforward advice to fuel the entrepreneur in all of us. I'm Devon Dickinson. Today I want to talk to you about pacing your business for change. Pacing your business for change. And this is an important concept because I have messed this up a lot. I think you know that I like to often talk to you guys about the mistakes that I've made because those have been the best lessons that I've learned. And I want to be able to teach you from my mistakes. I want you to be able to learn from what I've done wrong. And so oftentimes, some of the biggest mistakes that I've had in the company have not been that I've had bad ideas or even that we've made bad decisions. It's been at the pace of change that we've implemented those ideas or those decisions. And so I was talking with one of my CEOs this week, and we were actually having this conversation because we had recently acquired this company. Super excited because the team has done exceptional. Amazing. I'm so proud of the team because we had kind of this, year-long, 9-month-long plan of like, hey, here's how we're going to absorb this company. Here's how we're going to take it over. Here's how we're going to grow it and get it to basically be a healthy company again. And we put together this, somewhere between a 9 and 12-month plan. And after 90 days, the team has done so well that they're basically where I thought they'd be at 6 months. So I'm thrilled. The CEO's thrilled. The team's excited, and everyone's energized. And so my challenge to them is that, okay, great. Now I want you to say, what does this look like when we are a total, healthy, growing organization? What do we want this company to grow into? Let's dreamscape a little bit. And everyone got very energized and excited. And they all went back and got out the whiteboard and everyone dreamed, put together this gorgeous organization org chart, great plan, 2-year plan. There's a lot of numbers behind it. It was very well thought through. And I was excited and they were excited and as they were presenting it to me, and I was like, I really love this plan. And I was like, so, how quick are we thinking we're going to get this done? And, everyone's like, well, I think we can do this, this, and this. And it was like, basically like this plan, they had it drawn out and like in 90 days, we're going to be there. And I was like, all right, guys, whoa, hold on. Time out. Let me tell you about all the mistakes I've made over the years. And I started explaining to them so many times where I put together plans like this. And the plan I think is correct. Like, I think it's a good plan. But what I've learned over the years is that the business can only digest change so fast and can only, onboard people and basically grow at a certain clip without kind of exploding the company. And the analogy I use is that, like, if you imagine this company was in this terrible state, it was in this terrible condition, right? Where it's like, oh my gosh, it was like almost like this person was dropped off at an ambulance, in urgent care, or not urgent care, but in intensive care. And they're like, we're not sure this patient's going to make it, right? And then 90 days later, the patient's going home and driving themselves home, and everyone's going, oh my gosh, that's amazing. The person's doing great. Like, they're so healed. They're great. What a miracle. It's awesome. Right. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, this person's going to run a marathon. This person's going to bench 225 pounds. This person's going to be able to slam dunk. And so that's all the plans. And it's like, great, awesome. I believe all of that could happen. I believe all of that's possible. But I don't think you get out of the hospital and 2 weeks later sign up for the marathon, right? Unless the marathon you're signing up for is a year later. And that's what I was kind of explaining to everyone is like, hey, listen, I believe this plan. I think this is amazing. But we have to put in enough time between the change in order for the business to digest it. If you think about the analogy of the person that was in intensive care and now is leaving to go home and has plans to run a marathon, it's very possible that they could run a marathon soon, someday soon, but not today, right? Because their body can't even ingest, the 4,500 or 6,000 calories or whatever they need to take on a daily basis just to be able to condition for that marathon, much less the beating that it's going to take to train for that and the stress that it's going to put on their body. And so that's very similar to a company, because when you put together these grand plans, no matter how big your company is, whether you're $100 billion company, whether you're a $1 million company, whether you're a $20 million company, the company has to have time to absorb that change, right? Because whenever you put in plans, a new product and new ventures and new divisions, that involves people, right? And those people need onboarded. They need trained. Some of those people aren't going to work out, right? There's new processes that you need implemented that, frankly, as you know, your processes don't always work as planned, right? And you need time to work out the processes, to get the reporting smooth, to get the people onboarded, to get everyone working together as a team before you can achieve all of these great goals. And sometimes on top of that, you could even have everything working, but you might get ahead of your cash, right? You might not even know what this did from a cash flow standpoint to your company. And so these are all of the different things that we have to think about and analyze. And if you try to do something like this, these grand plans, all of this change, and you try to implement it in 90 days, you're going to have a problem. You're going to end up back in the hospital, right? That person where everyone's so happy that they're healed and that they're growing, if they go and start training for a marathon, the minute they get out of the hospital, they're going to be checked back in pretty darn quick, right? We want to make sure that your company grows at a healthy clip, at a healthy pace. So when that person gets out of the hospital, they can go and have a plan to run a marathon. But that plan needs to be involved day one. We're going to walk for 1 mile, right? Or actually, probably we're going to go to PT, right? And then after that, we can talk about next week walking 1 mile, right? And then we can grow and grow and grow. And sure, we're impatient, right? Because we're entrepreneurs and we're dreamers and we want to grow. But Devon, we have this great plan. How can it fail? Well, it can fail because you go and you pace yourself too fast and you end up blowing up either yourself, the company, the people within the company, your cash flow. All of these different things can implode upon themselves. We see this happen all the times with companies that are very successful. Like I could think of Krispy Kreme. I love Krispy Kreme, right? Like they made the most amazing donuts and they went public and all of a sudden they had all of this cash. And so they had all these plans and they were going to open up all these stores. And literally a year later, like their stock just went through the roof when the IPO happened, and a year later it was just crashing because the company wasn't able to go and grow at that clip. No matter how much cash they had, they couldn't grow at that clip. And that's true, like whether you're a public company or whether you're $1 million company, whether you're just getting started, whether you've been doing this for 10 years, you can have these grand plans, but you have to make sure that your company can absorb the change and change at the pace that's appropriate for all of these grand plans. I'm not here to like put the brakes on your plans, but I am here to put some governors on your plans. I am here to say, let's give this some time. Let's take some checks and pulses along the way, right? So, the same analogy, the person who wants to go out and wants to run that marathon, hey, let's get out, let's start walking. And then after that, we'll start jogging. And after that, after 90 days, hey, maybe we could enter a 5K. And then after that, let's see how our body reacts to that 5K. It doesn't mean that our plan has changed because we're still going to run a marathon. And so my challenge to you is, isn't it better to go and run that marathon, even if it takes you, instead of 12 months to get there, maybe 18 months, maybe even 24 months before you hit that goal? But wouldn't it be better to complete that goal, achieve that goal, and be healthy, as opposed to trying to do it in 12 months and putting yourself back in the hospital, and this time you never get out? I'm Devon. This is Whiteboard Entrepreneur. I know this is going to help.